Actually, I needed to have that there. There was two Tim Clisses, and now just one.
Oh, you haven't got one. There's fucking hell.
Oh man.
God, I hate. Thing is, I don't use it enough to be literate with it.
Well, it should work like. I mean, sometimes it just acts the total bollocks.
Well, look, it's working fine.
Yeah, but it does like sometimes works. Once in a blue moon, it acts the total bollocks, and you've no idea really. You've done nothing different. It just stops working.
Fucking thing.
So it just what happened? It just started working when you turned it on, turned it off again. That whole chestnut reset. Like.
Well, the reason it took so long is the when I switched it off, it wanted to reconfigure and update. So that.
Okay.
And because I don't use it, you see, I use my phone all the time.
Yeah.
But I don't use the laptop enough, so it's needed to update.
Oh fucking hell!
So I'm guessing I'm going to take full responsibility for that.
Yeah,
I'm not at all.
No,
really.
I mean, no, totally. I know you're not. Yeah, but let's pretend that.
Yeah. Pretend I take any responsibility for it at all.
Yeah, I have to bring the kid to football. That's definitely something that's going to happen. But
the what? The football?
I have to bring my kid to football training. In a little bit. I think we have enough time anyway. But
well, I'm meant to be meeting my mate at 6 o'clock, so that's 15 minutes time.
Okay, 15 minutes of pure gold. Then yeah. Oh fuck!
Oh, I'm exhausted.
Yeah, it can really just fuck you over like that, can't it? I mean, it can. It just.
I'm done in.
Yeah, I'm fucked totally. There's nothing I could do. Even I mean, I probably would have been able to sort it out on your side. It's probably just something stupid, I'd say.
Well, you probably would have done it a bit quicker than me, Frank. I'm pretty sure of that.
Yeah.
But there we go.
Yeah. Well, I remember once I had a call arranged with Kenneth. And we were going live, and we actually recorded for, as far as we were concerned, we chatted for an hour. I had it recording, and then we pressed that, and it was live. We just never checked to see was it live. So then at the end of it, we had recorded nothing. There was no call. There's no anything. And he put up a message saying, I had the best podcast on Non-Duality ever. Nothing was recorded.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
Yeah.
Well,
it's
good to see you anyway.
Yeah, likewise. Jesus, yeah, very good to see you. I'm actually going over to record at the next week. I'm going to record.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. So I might. It's in some time. I mean, I'm inviting myself over, by the way. But it's sometime in the future. I might send you a note about recording something, live, one-on-one.
Yeah, so we're together.
So we're together. Yeah, it might.
Have you just invited yourself to mine there?
I kind of have. Yeah, I kind of have. But I'm not putting you on the spot now. I'll do that on email, and you can just say no.
That'd be great. Anytime you like, Frank. Yeah, that'd be good.
Could be a bit of crack. Yeah. See what happens.
Because there's something in this, but it's not like face to face.
No, it's not. It's not like face to face.
It's not at all.
No, it's a little bit more.
Don't ask me what the difference is. I don't know what the difference is, but there's a difference.
I think there is. Yeah. I think there's more. Well, it's a bit more electric or something when it's.
You could call it. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, you call it whatever you like.
Just making up words there now. Yeah.
Electricity, yeah, could be.
Yeah.
Fuck knows.
Fuck knows, yeah. I saw. Something came up about. Do you know the Dream Bus? You know who's driving the Dream Bus? Is a mate of mine, Boris, made that film, and he also had a let's not call it a non-duality festival, but he had a seminar over a couple of days.
Yeah, I was there.
I know you were there because I was just somehow it came up, and I didn't know whether it was an ad for it or a.
And I come up. There's my face laughing my head off in the audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
I thought that was kind of funny. I thought, well, really, it is small in a way. You know, your face pop up in the crowd. Yeah.
Yeah. That's where I met Kenneth there.
Okay. Yeah. Very cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was going to ask you.
And Paul, actually. I met Paul Morgan Summers there as well.
Oh, he's there. Okay.
That's where I met Paul as well there. Yeah.
Very cool. And were you a seeker?
Yeah.
At that? You were a seeker at that.
Yeah.
And obviously you're not a seeker now. I know we've had that, but you're not seeking anything.
No.
Yeah. Is that a relief?
Yeah. But not yet. I say yes. That's a bit too quick to say yes, really. There's relief, disappointment. Yeah, you could say it is relief because there's nothing to get. But when you've had a lifetime of wanting to get what you were after, even though you hadn't got a clue what that was, there's a vacuum left. There's so much emptiness left without the seeking, because what's obvious is that that's what you did. Your whole life was filled with that. So there's a lot of empty space.
And that whole life being filled with that is, you see, I've heard, only during the last couple of weeks I've realized how I am utterly, my aliveness in a way is conceptual, totally and utterly. I live in, almost am alive through concepts. Now, obviously there's breathing, but the awareness that this is something is conceptual. Is that true? Is that feels actually fucking, when you take away all concepts, like really, really take away all concepts.
Yeah.
It's not nice. It's not nice. It's not like it's, you know, it's kind of like, oh yeah, this is lovely. It's not
a bit lovely.
Yeah, it's not a bit lovely.
No, it isn't at all.
What can you say about that then? Just so I can get a feel. Yeah. What can you say about, what's the truth of that like?
What's the truth of it? I don't know where to begin with that, Frank.
But that
because it's not really that you live in concepts. It's not, that's not really how Frank is living.
Yeah.
But Frank thinks he is, because Frank thinks he's a concept. He's Frank. Well, that's just an idea. That's just an idea. And so Frank lives in ideas, but that's not really what's going on. What's really going on is totally unknowable. You can't. So when you ask me what is there without the concepts, well, there isn't anything. There isn't anything that you could describe at all. The words emptiness and nothingness and spaciousness and silence and all of those are trying to convey how this really is. That's what's really happening. What's really happening isn't a set of ideas. What's really happening isn't conceptual, but you won't get to see that. It's not that I've got to see that. I think the real problem here we have with non-duality is, which was the problem that I had as a seeker, which all seekers have, is they look at whoever's speaking about this, whichever human beings they hear speaking about this, and they think that they must be seeing and experiencing life in a totally different way. Without concepts, as you've said, without concepts. Let's use that as the alternative way that life could be experienced by a human being. And that's not true. There is only this being human. And what that is just whatever it is. It's too ridiculously simple. But whilst you have a sense of yourself as a conceptual sense of self, then everything else is in relation to that. So while you objectify yourself as a subject, then it's inevitable that everything else becomes things in relation to you. It's all about relationship. And we're talking about the end of relationship.
I seem to continuously have the sense that it's too much for the body, too much for the mind. Almost when this comes in, it's almost like I could throw up. How the fuck, like that? This is just, I don't know why I see that seems to be my reaction, but
yeah,
physiologically going, holy fuck. Now, is that, what the fuck? Is that just, it's like this living with, it's humongous. Humongous that this body can't contain it, and it's nothing, nowhere near that I could even begin. So we say it's, you know, I hear people saying it's ordinary, but for a human being living in the world in a time thing, when this starts to come in, and I don't even know what I'm saying by saying this starts to come in, but the realization, which seems of what this seems giant.
Oh, it's just that.
Well, actually, just rips the body utterly apart, like rips everything apart.
It does feel like that, yeah. But that's my experience of, that's me experiencing the emptiness. So from the perspective of self, perspective of me looking at the emptiness, of course, is the most terrifying thing, because you can't exist in that. You and me knows that. And so me shrinks back in terror at the immensity of everything, because we're talking about everything and absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Well, absolutely nothing is absolutely terrifying, isn't it, to me? Because then what will I be? What would I be in that? I wouldn't be anything.
Yeah. Yeah, somebody put up, sorry, I was going to say, somebody put up a comment there about it's not a kind of esoteric nothing, or, you know, a mystical nothing. It's nothing. Nothing.
Well, the thing is, the nothing is everything. So it's just that the thingness of things goes. The thingness, weird, strange language you end up using talking about this. So there's still everything, but everything has lost its thingness, its solidity, its substance. So even though I can put my hands on this table and feel the substance of it, it's not solid. Everything is ephemeral. Everything is, but then it's absolutely real as well. It's not like that it becomes something else. There's no sense here that there's a new way of perceiving the world. It's just how it is.
This thing of trying to know it, that seems to be, let's say, my predominant thing. That's the truth of it, so that I can know it. Now, that knowing it thing is, I've said this before, but maybe I kind of just ate it, the idea there recently. I had this total sense that every tiny thing is not true. Every tiny concept is not true. And so, you know, in that you normally kind of go, wow, there's one or two things that have to be true. And no, and so everything.
Yeah. We're talking about truth going. Truth is lost. Truth is lost. Without me, there's no truth, and lies don't make any sense anymore. Truth, and so there's true and false. Well, there just isn't, is there? There's just what is. And what is equally not. What is isn't as much as it is.
Yeah.
And so once you get, I don't know, I say once you get, it's not that you get anywhere. There's nowhere to get to. This isn't an understanding at all. And all I ever wanted was to know the truth, just like you've said, Frank. That was my aim. I always wanted to know. That's me, isn't it? The essence of everyone I've ever met is that I want to know.
Yeah.
And then I can use that knowledge for whatever fucking purpose I've decided would be good for me.
Yeah.
It's all completely selfish. I want this life to be as good as I can for me. And if I know the highest truth, the ultimate truth, the ultimate reality, by the way, reality and truth are one and the same idea to the self. And what we're talking about is that there is no reality, not that's knowable. You could equally say there's only reality, which is absolutely obvious. That's all there ever is. So what's reality? It's whatever there is. And what's that? I don't know. It's whatever there is. And that includes truth and falsehood in equal measure. There is no truth and there is no false. Lies are equally true, aren't they? You know, if someone tells a lie, well, that's what's happening. That's true. Yeah. Somebody tells the truth, that's what that's no more true than the lies.
There's no way. There's a bit of an echo there, but there's no way that a person would want this.
No.
There's
no,
no,
we talked.
There's no
I remember we talked about this. Yeah.
But it's absolutely, definitely. That's really clear. There's no way because there's no way it can survive in this.
No.
There's no space for it. It actually is obliteration. It's not just. You can see that's why the message can be sometimes appears like it's the real. Let's not say real, but there's no way a person really in truth would even ever want to talk about this. Not really. No way. Just no way. Because even now I can, that when it comes in, it's just going, oh, fuck off. Like,
yeah, you wouldn't want this. Well, there's nothing for you. Of course you wouldn't want it. You want what's best for you, don't you? That's what me is. Me, it's a survival mechanism. Well, it's a self-help mechanism. That's what self is. Self is trying to improve itself, make its life as good as it can be. It's utterly selfish. But of course that creates a lot of shit for you. Your desire to be the best you can be, and for your life, you know, the world to be as conducive to your welfare as you could make it, there you could say that's suffering. That's the root of all suffering, is that. There isn't any really good reason to talk about this because, as you rightly say, no one would want it. And yet, all I want to do, the only motivation that is here is to talk about this.
Yeah.
And most people think you're insane. And those that are in the spiritual world think you're a charlatan, or you get almost constant shit. Yeah. As soon as you start talking about this, you know, as though you've set yourself as some, you know, guru or wise man or sage, or whatever terrible word you want to use for somebody who's, for a human being who's talking in this way. But of course, there is nothing for you in it. No, absolutely not.
Yeah, this uncontainable, uncontrollable, unnameable everything.
Yeah.
It's
But there is a really strange thing, because it is completely and utterly benign as well. I just, don't ask me how, I don't know that, but that's the bit that me would never get.
yeah.
That life is perfectly okay without me. Well, me's never going near that. It's just it's just terrifying. Because how would life be without me? Well, it'd be perfectly okay. That's the bit that me longs for that, of course. Me is longing for that, because I am the separation. I am the thing that feel this discomfort, this wrongness of, life's not, there's something wrong. There's something essentially wrong. And the essentially wrong bit is me being separate. But I will defend that no matter what, because it's a matter of life and death to me.
Yeah.
So
but it's not conceptual life or death. It's end game.
yeah, this is the end, isn't it? This is always the end, as well as always the beginning. This doesn't begin or end.
Yeah, that's impossible for. I mean, maybe with the recent experience I had it. All of these concepts before were just kind of concepts like. But when you actually eat that, it's when you really taste that, it's absolutely terrifying. It's just, it's not that for me, it's terrifying. There's equally there's a sense of maybe a memory of not there. Mm-hmm. If that's even the way, I can't even say that now because that's just making uppy. But
well, this is all, when we're talking, it's all made up. It's all stories. It's only.
Well, I'm referring to something that happened, so I kind of always, when I go like that, it's just.
But if you ask me, I haven't forgotten the terror.
Go on, tell me more.
you want to know?
I do want to know. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like being turned inside out. Like being skinned alive. Yeah. Like being hung, drawn, and quartered. It was literally gut-churningly terrifying.
Yeah.
For weeks and months, I think. I can't remember times, but for a long time. Me hanging on and screaming.
Yeah. That's good and dramatic, Tim. But I can see completely. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. I try not to talk about it because it just sounds so dramatic. But really, it was like that. Yeah. But it wasn't really, of course, because that's just a story. And
yeah, but I get both things that you're saying, though. I get the fact that I get the idea of the story, but I guess because of whatever I went through, it was this. It's kind of like the way you see the moth going to the flame continuously. Why would you keep going back to the fucking flame and getting electrocuted? But it's kind of like, what was that? Oh, then getting burnt. That's just my experience going back, and then it's kind of like every concept and every idea and every real thing, and all of this. Okay, but something must be real. I must have some safe ground to be here. And it's. So I'd love to hear more. I just want to know.
Well, it's utterly completely groundless.
Yeah.
You won't have any. You're not left with anywhere to stand. Nothing to hold on to and nowhere to stand. And that sounds dreadful, doesn't it? And then most incredibly, it's not at all dreadful.
When there's nothing. When there's no one there, there's everything. I mean, it's just
okay.
Yeah. Because there's nobody there. There's this fucking mortal coil that's not even.
No. Well, and your greatest fear is gone, because your greatest fear is for you and for your life. That's for every self. That's all I was ever really concerned about. I was only really ever concerned about me.
Yeah.
And keeping myself safe. So the relief from that is indescribable.
Yeah, for no one.
But I'm not relieved from it. It's you can't really talk about it.
No, you can in a way. Well, it's just there. It's just for no one. That's the.
It's just because it's. Well, it's. Sometimes I can speak about it, and other times it's just like.
But you see, in the world of concepts, it's only when maybe you kind of said, well, we've talked about this before, but maybe when I was talking about, and maybe it's just that it's so striking. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes I seem to kind of skip around it, and then I don't know what I'm saying either to you, but it's just the terrifying thing seems to be really, really apparent. For me, is all I'm talking about. That's all I can talk about,
Yeah, no, of course. What else can you talk about how it is for you? There isn't anything else, Frank.
No. But no.
No, really, there isn't. And that becomes very, very obvious. Whereas in the story of me is always fantasizing about other, what life could be other than my direct experience. Well, of course, there isn't anything else. It just was never your direct experience. It never is. But there isn't anything outside of this.
When you say that, there isn't anything outside of this. I had again, this is the me experience, but living that there isn't anything outside of me was kind of going, what? That was more terrifying.
Oh no, it is.
Because then it can't end. Oh. And then it was kind of the feeling of that this being this, right? Get ready for this. Being this was a brilliant way to forget that this can't end. And the illusion of maybe being able to die is a nice way to be able to forget that you're everything. And so being separate is not actually a terrible thing. This was in whatever I was going through. You know what I mean?
No, that makes perfect sense. Because what you've done there, you've told a story to yourself, which made it a little bit of comfort for me. It wasn't quite as terrifying.
Well, actually, though, in the end of it all was coming back down and it just being... And I kind of went, oh, I've done it again. I've done it again and 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 again. And I actually thought my head was going to explode with that idea that it's just me.
Yeah,
I'm actually reliving it there now. But,
yeah, that's good. Well, it's not that.
What do you mean it's good, Tim? What the fuck are you saying it's good?
I think it's great that your head's exploding. No, it's not good. It's, you know, it's terrifying, of course, but it amuses me.
Yeah. Yeah. But do you know what I'm talking about there? That you do.
Yeah, it's well,
It's just the mind gone mad trying to figure it out. Like,
well, it's like, as you said. Well, me always lives in the next. So what's coming, and what you experienced there was it was really, really obvious that there isn't anything to come. This doesn't end and something else begins. This doesn't end. Exactly that.
Doesn't end.
And no, it doesn't begin or end. This, of course not. Only in our concept of time. As far as we know, you know, other than human beings, there's no beginning or ending of anything. We've made all that shit up.
Yeah. Oh, I know why I'm laughing. This is horrendous.
It's not. And then it's not horrendous one bit.
Do you know there's nothing outside of this thing?
Mm-hmm.
So,
or inside.
Okay.
Because a lot of people, you'll hear a lot of, because spirituality is all about going inside, particularly if you hear spiritual. So, you know, it's go within, go within, go within. Well, you can go within, and I tell you what you'll find.
Nothing.
Big, empty, nothing. When I say big, it's more your description of humongous, vast, gigantic, you know, mind-blowingly. It's like when you were a kid and I don't know if you first experience of lying on your back, looking up at the universe, looking up at the stars. I mean, I've not forgotten that. And I did it quite a bit after. I used to like to scare myself because you would just get that sense of awe. And awe is fear. I mean, religion has used this awe thing quite well, because human beings as a self, you can't help but have this sense of awe, because you get a sense of your own tiny insignificance as a me. And then there's this vast emptiness. And if you look into space, there's dots of light, but if you really look, then all you can see is nothing, with tiny little bits of something dotted about. But it's vast. And then if you go into that, you just travel into infinity. And then you can, you know, that was fun as a kid, but terrifying. But I like the experience of frightening myself with that. And that's how everything is. Unknowable. It's the unknown. It's the unknowable.
And that sense of the no thingness being ripped, like nothing was nothing, but also when it was me, it was also this like kind of this image of the center, good old Catholic, like the center of the cross, me thing, that as far as it could go still was only the beginning of how far it could go, in the sense that when it's nothing, but it was so fucking beyond.
Yeah, because there actually is nowhere to go. In nothing, there's nowhere to go, of course. It leaves you nowhere to go. Because where are you going to go in nothing, in emptiness? You don't go towards anything or away from anything. There's no traveling. So this is the end of traveling. Apart from in the story, of course, and I'll be off on holiday and getting on an aeroplane. I don't mean that, but it's really obvious that this doesn't move. This is totally still. This is complete stillness. That's what everything moving is. Everything moving is simultaneously completely still, not going anywhere. I'm a bit concerned about my I've said I'm meeting a friend. He's coming to see me. He's actually traveling.
Okay.
So I've got a feeling that he might have arrived and he's somewhere else.
Okay. Well, and I'm seeing this thing here that for some reason 3 of us came on, or not 3 of us, but there was 2 yous. But anyway, normally you can keep going on this, but it's saying remaining meeting time is 3 minutes. So.
Oh, there we go. Oh, that's appropriate.
Yeah, so I think it is. Yeah, fucking hell, man. I need to talk to you again about this.
No, well, I'm not counting this as one, so you can.
Yeah, it's not. This isn't one. Yeah. Fine.
No, whatever this is, it's not.
We call it 55.5, and then we'll have another. Yeah.
Okay, this is a practice.
Yeah. Okay.
And so we'll rearrange one.
Let's do that. Yeah. Okay.
That'd be lovely.
Yeah, nice one, man. Great to talk to you.
Yeah, I love talking to you, Frank. Always.
Cheers, Tim. Really cool. I think. No, I love talking to you. We'll talk about chicken wings maybe next time.
I like it that there was 2 of me. How good is that for a non-duality speaker? There was actually 2.
It's so good. I mean, I nearly pressed record. It had the 2 screens, 2 Tim Cliss.
No, that's a winner, isn't it?
Oh, it's totally. And you'd have loads of people going, see.
Exactly.
There's no non-duality there. Yeah, it's 2 of you.
I knew that wanker was he was a dualist all along.
Oh, shite. Oh, fuck. Right. Enjoy your evening.
Cheers, Frank.
See you, man.
Take care.
Press the stop here and end the meeting. Okay. Hi, if you liked the conversation that I just had and you'd like more, please hit the subscribe button. Thank you.
Frank, come on, man.